Gimmighoul is a very unique case of a non-legendary Pokemon. Only available through special encounters in Scarlet and Violet, and in these special encounters, it's shiny locked. There was no way to obtain a fully legal Shiny Gimmighoul until the Nintendo Direct on the morning of June 21st, 2023.
Shiny Gimmighoul's possible! Ooh! Haha! I gotta get one of those.
Now, since they advertised the Shiny Gimmighoul as part of this, most of us thought that it would be like the Shiny Raid events that they did last generation in Sword and Shield, where, during the event, the 5-star raids had a dedicated guaranteed Shiny encounter slot. But we hadn't gotten one of these kinds of events yet in Scarlet and Violet, and by this time in Sword and Shield's lifespan, we had already gotten quite a few. So I made a cheeky tweet saying, wouldn't it be funny if they just made this full odds? And guess what? That's what they did. I was given the gift of prophecy. And in Scarlet and Violet, with the way that the raids are generated, it's a little bit worse than full odds, at 1 in 4103 instead of the base 1 in 4096, with no way to influence these odds with even the shiny charm, making this hunt a potential huge pain in the butt. If you know me, I love a crazy shiny hunt, so I was actually a little bit excited about this at first. But then I actually tried it out.
Okay, that's hard to tell. That's very hard to tell.
The way you hunt this involves checking the 10 event Terra Raid dens that appear on the map every day, indicated by glowing icons. However, only the 5-star raids, which don't have any sort of overworld indicator compared to the 3 and 4-star counterparts, can be shiny for this Gimmighoul.
That's a 3-star, so we gotta go to another one here.
So we have to check all 10 event raids and maybe only get like 3 actual shiny checks out of it on average when they're 5-star. After checking all the event dens, you change your Switch's date and time settings to generate the next day raids and repeat the process. Also, shinies and Terra raids do not sparkle when you first encounter them, so you also have to manually spot the subtle difference on Gimmighoul, which I found easiest utilizing the Switch's zoom tool and comparing the buckle on the chest to the ghoul itself. If the ghoul's lighter, it's shiny. But this is still a very lengthy process. In 5 total hours of streaming, I was only able to check 65-star raid dens, averaging 12 an hour. And I found 2 unrelated shinies on the map in the process of running towards the raids.
I feel like no matter what, there's like a suffering component, including finding a shiny Combi! There's the suffering component of the night tonight. Naughty Gimmighoul.
5 minutes later.
I have massive respect for anyone who's survived. Just in general. Oh, what the heck, dude? What on earth? I don't have the shiny charm. This is full odds. We found another shiny Gimmighoul. There goes all my Gimmighoul luck. Oh, no. Someone was telling me that this raid was bugged. I didn't think of it this way. Alright, shiny golden go. We did it, y'all.
Now I'm used to long hunts, and I wasn't afraid to download this on another save file and take this hunt offline even after the event ends. In fact, that's still my future plan, but I realized that this hunt was not built to realistically be done within such a short span of time, unless you get incredibly lucky. Which sort of injects some artificial value into this shiny Gimmighoul. I don't personally believe that shinies should have any objective value. It should all come down to the hunter and how they personally view the shiny. But this event seems to be built off of fear of missing out, something that feels more Pokemon Go than Pokemon main series, especially after I ran some math. If I were to have average luck and let's say do 4103 encounters to find this Gimmighoul, at the pace I was going at the night before, it would take 342 hours. And during the 11-day time span of this event, there were only 264 hours. So did they really intentionally set up this event where you can't even get to odds on the number of encounters that you're doing within the reasonable amount of time? The answer is actually maybe, because at first this event also had broken rewards in Scarlet, and they fixed that within an hour, without touching the shiny odds for the rest of the event. To me, it seems like they designed this event as some sort of social experiment, to see if the people who did get lucky enough to get a Gimmighoul decide to share the wealth. I feel like the stars kind of had to align for someone generous enough to be lucky enough to get this thing. But the next day, I found one such Cinderella story. through Shiny Hunter and streamer The Official Big Cat, who got the Shiny Gimmighoul first encounter, and decided to keep the raid den and keep hosting it throughout the entire event to anyone who needed one on stream.
I walked to Burger King. It's the Burger King code.
Big Cat's generosity really resonated with me, and I thought about for how every Big Cat, there are probably 1,000 other people out there who won't get that lucky or won't be that generous. And it made me start to reconsider my thoughts on my selfish pursuit for the school. On my own hunt that I was planning to do whether the event was still online or not. I wanted to shift my focus from give me ghoul to trying to give you ghoul. No matter what it took. Even if it disrupted the canon event of me not finding one of these naturally before the event ended. So, I took a bit of a trip to the dark side of Switch modding.
Look, Ma. No hands.
I utilized this fantastic program called Raid Crawler, which directly reads the raid data from your game while it's running, and runs a bot that automatically date skips on your Switch until it finds a raid that matches the criteria you're looking for. It is kind of a gray area tool the way that I look at it, but the game is actually still generating the Gimmighoul here. Let me do a stupid analogy to tell you what exactly is going on here. Let's say you get in the car and you want to go to McDonald's. McDonald's is our Shiny Gimmighoul in this case. Normally hunting it, it would be like aimlessly driving around and getting out at every individual building and checking to see if it's a McDonald's.
Dude, I thought that this building said calzone for a second.
Until you arrive at your fabled shiny McDonald's that you're looking for. Utilizing RNG manipulation, which is something that Raid Crawler is not, nor is it even possible with Scarlet and Violet raids with the way they get generated, would be like looking at a map created by 19th century cartographers who did some empirical observations about the land around them to predict where exactly McDonald's might be. And it's up to you to follow the exact steps outlined by them to a T to reach the McDonald's, or if you don't pump your windshield wiper enough times, the McDonald's will be a Taco Bell when you get there, which is not the worst case scenario because you can enjoy a nice tall refreshing Baja Blast. Raid Crawler is a little bit more like the regular hunting, but it's like getting in a self-driving car that will aimlessly wander around until it itself detects that it's at a McDonald's, without you having to exit the car and investigate it each time. Note that this is also different from just completely cheating one in. Raid Crawler's not conjuring a McDonald's out of thin air, because if you were to do that, who knows what might be wrong with it. They might serve waffle fries there and say my pleasure after you pay them. You might be asking why I made this McDonald's analogy in the first place, and it's because I wanted to do a stupid bit.
Alright, it's Grimace's birthday. Happy birthday, Grimace. Time to try your new shake. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. It kind of tastes like a blueberry muffin.
The shake was actually so good that I didn't die. But anyway, I left Raid Crawler running, searching for a Shiny Gimmighoul raid, while I did some good old-fashioned manual shiny hunting in Gen 3 on stream. And then I lied to a couple hundred people.
Okay, gotta answer something on my phone real quick. I'll be right back.
I told them I was checking my phone, when in reality, the raid had been found, after only 4 hours and 778 date skips, which is around 2,000 something raids. And at my old pace, it would have taken me 167 hours, which I would not have had time to do during the event.
Alright, it's past midnight. I just ended stream. This right here is gonna be home base now. This should be a shiny. And it is.
So what was going to be my ultimate gimme goal now? I decided I wanted to give out 999 of them, because that's Gimmighoul's Pokédex number, and the number of coins you need for it to evolve into Golden Go, and get a heart that's good as gold. The next day, I began the trial run of hosting this raid, giving it out primarily to friends.
DK, Donkey Coffee, the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's giving out Gimmighouls to the people who need them.
Alright, we got the official Big Cat. The one that I got the first Gimmighoul from. And then later that night, I set up a stream, where I was going to run a queue, and hopefully give out as many ghouls as I possibly could. Within the first 15 minutes of stream, there were already over 300 people in the queue waiting on a Gimmighoul, and I had to individually message and coordinate with each and every one of them to send them the raid code as it went on. I also had no idea how long this would take. We were hours into stream, and I felt bad for the people just joining who wanted in on the queue, who had no chance of getting in. So sometimes I would run Wild West raids, where I would just show the code on stream and wish everyone good luck. You'll never guess who showed up to the first one. Saul Goodman! I could just hear like the guitar chord playing right now from the theme song. My brain was sort of fried by all of this. Rat is short for Matthew. Ratthew. I messed that one up. I could have just automated this hosting process, but honestly it was more fun to do it manually. Hold on, we're upgrading the setup real quick. The Code Guard goon. There were sometimes issues with sending whisper messages to people over Twitch. And chat was so good and patient that we were able to do the Ultra Honor System here. Alright, we're gonna go off the Ultra Honor System right now. I'm just gonna straight up send it in chat. Platypus, are you ready? Type yes in chat right now if you're ready. Scout's Honor. This is crazy. Yes, okay. Sent. You got this, Platypus. You got this. I either have the best chat in the world, or everyone was asleep because it was 2 AM. But Platypus was still able to make it into the raid. I streamed for 9 hours, staying up till 4 AM doing this, making considerable upgrades to the stream as the night went on. Oh my gosh, we got a Wild West Oon. Yeehaw. Can I get a yeehaw in the chat? This town ain't big enough for the three of us. I ended the night having given out 282 ghouls, with many people still somehow waiting in the queue after 9 hours. Then I started the next day. When your switch rolls over past midnight, the game is supposed to generate a new set of raids, but that only happens if the game is running. If we have the game currently closed and just make sure our switch date and time settings match the day when it was generated, as long as it doesn't roll past midnight while the game's running, you can keep the raid for as many days and as long as you want. So I didn't have a strict 24-hour time limit on giving out all these ghouls. I once again started out the next day handing out ghouls offline. I had told a bunch of people on my stream that if they waited around in my offline chat, I would also be handing out some ghouls there. And I had a pretty solid turnout.
Box combo, no slop, extra toast, extra ghoul, extra sauce, offline chat, extra raids, extra raids.
I realized how much easier this offline setup was when I immediately started streaming afterwards, doing the whole queue system and individually messaging people again. So I once again advertised after stream that I would be hosting more offline, and lots of people stuck around.
Alright, check it out. The 500th ghoul has been given.
And now I'm gonna give myself some freaking rest, because I am tired. The next morning I started out offline once again, and decided I would try and scrap the queue system entirely, to handle a stream like I handled the offline chat, with the code card goons set aside in the Wild West. I actually did end up blocking out the code with the goons again to give everyone a level playing field by typing the code exclusively in the chat. Then to level the playing field even further for both slow and fast typers, I started typing out each thing one letter at a time. I even once didn't reveal the final letter and still had people instantly join. Alright, 1 in 26 chance if you just type a letter and hit go right now. This Chi-Yu, it's only saying one thing to me right now.
Well, actually, this Gimmighoul is, it's not the best Gimmighoul because it doesn't have a 0 attack IV.
Look how happy I'm making everyone doing this right now. This just brings a smile to my face. But, I tell you what, it was lightning fast. I once again hung out in the offline chat after stream too, and ended up giving out a crazy number of ghouls for one day. The next day I dished out even more ghouls, including to Johnstone, who I hung out with last month to work on some big future videos. Then I did one final Gimmighoul stream, bringing back the old queue system. I tried to fit in as many people as I could, but unfortunately at the end of it there were still 74 people left. But I was only a few more ghouls away from my goal, which was something that was absolutely nothing for me to knock out while I was working the next day in the offline chat. I actually ended up giving out more than 1,000 Gimmighoul, giving out a few more after I hit the 999 goal. But in the end, I feel satisfied. I feel like I've done my part in an event that I may have cosmically brought upon us. And very soon, I will embark on the long and arduous journey to track down this raid den for myself. So stay tuned for that. And if you received one of my ghouls, I'd love to hear about its adventures. So let me know what your ghoul is up to if you got one from me. And if you weren't able to get one from me, I'm sorry. Hopefully there won't be a next time that they mess up a raid event this badly, but if there is, I'm gonna try and host it again. So, let's see what happens.